In the late 1960s, the San Francisco Bay Area was thrust into a nightmare when a ruthless killer began stalking the streets, leaving behind a trail of terror and confusion. Known only as the Zodiac Killer, this mysterious figure taunted authorities with cryptic letters and a series of brutal murders that have remained unsolved for decades. His identity continues to elude investigators, leaving behind questions that have haunted the region and the world for over 50 years. It all began on December 20, 1968, when Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday, a young couple, were shot and killed near Vallejo, California. The murder seemed random, but the killer had no intention of stopping there. On July 4, 1969, the Zodiac struck again, this time targeting Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mageau. The couple was parked at a remote lover's lane when the killer approached their car, shooting both of them at point-blank range. Ferrin died instantly, but Mageau survived. His description of the attacker would become one of the few leads the police had, though it would ultimately lead nowhere. The Zodiac's taunting of the police began soon after his second attack. On July 31, 1969, he sent a letter to the San Francisco Chronicle, taking credit for the murders of Jensen, Faraday, Ferrin, and Mageau. He also enclosed a cryptogram, a cipher that he dared the public to decode. The letter contained chilling words: "I am the murderer of the two teenagers last Christmas at Lake Herman, and the girl last 4th of July." The Zodiac also claimed he had killed many more, but it was impossible to know if these claims were true or simply a mind game. This cryptic message marked the beginning of the Zodiac's psychological warfare with the public and the police. More letters followed, each more detailed and more arrogant than the last. The killer demanded his ciphers be published and threatened further violence if his wishes weren't met. His need for attention, control, and power was clear. Each letter seemed like a victory to him. The Zodiac's reign of terror escalated with another horrific attack on September 27, 1969. This time, Brian Hartnell and Cecilia and Shepard were parked near Lake Berryessa, a popular spot for couples. The Zodiac approached them wearing a hood, with the same cross-circle symbol that had appeared in his letters. He tied them up and then proceeded to stab both victims repeatedly. Incredibly, Hartnell survived and was able to give a detailed description of the killer, but once again the case went cold. Then came the most chilling encounter of all. On December 20, 1969, the Zodiac made a phone call to a nearby radio station, confessing to the murders and demanding his letters be read aloud on air. It was clear that he saw himself as above the law, playing a game where he was always one step ahead. As the years passed, investigators and armchair detectives alike speculated on the identity of the Zodiac Killer. Theories abounded. Was the Zodiac a local man, someone who knew the area well and had a personal vendetta? Was he a Vietnam War veteran, possibly suffering from PTSD? Was he someone with a deep desire for attention, or was there a deeper psychological issue at play? One prominent suspect was Arthur Leigh Allen, a convicted child molester who had been questioned early in the investigation. Allen's strange behavior, his proximity to the murders, and the fact that he owned a Zodiac brand watch all seemed to fit the profile. However, the evidence against him was circumstantial, and he never stood trial for the murders. The case went cold again with few promising leads. The Zodiac ciphers, often hailed as one of the greatest challenges in criminology, remained a source of intrigue and frustration. Over the years, amateur sleuths and codebreakers have attempted to solve the cryptograms, with some success. In 2020, a group of private citizens finally cracked one of the Zodiac's most infamous ciphers, which revealed a message that, while taunting, gave no clue as to the killer's identity. The message read, "I hope you are having lots of fun in trying to catch me. I'm not afraid of the gas chamber." Despite this breakthrough, the identity of the Zodiac Killer remains elusive, with few substantial leads and no conclusive evidence linking any one suspect to the murders. Could Arthur Leigh Allen have been the killer? Or was the Zodiac someone else entirely? Theories continue to evolve, but none can provide definitive answers. While his identity is unknown, the motive behind the Zodiac's killings is still a subject of debate. Was the Zodiac driven by a need for power, using his murders to assert control over his victims and the police? Was he mentally unstable, seeking to satisfy a twisted desire for notoriety? Some theorists suggest that the Zodiac may have been an intelligent man, using his letters and ciphers to mock the police, all while remaining anonymous. The Zodiac Killer's reign of terror left a lasting imprint on the collective psyche of the Bay Area, and indeed, the world. Despite years of investigation and the relentless pursuit of justice, the killer's identity remains a mystery. New suspects are proposed, new ciphers are cracked, but the truth remains just beyond reach. The Zodiac's final message, "I will not give you my name," continues to haunt investigators, leaving the question, will we ever know who the Zodiac Killer truly was? Until then, the mystery endures and the killer's taunt rings in the ears of all who dare to follow the trail. I like killing people because it is so much fun.